Hi. So I have like a 222 message, a message from Ra, or also from Archangel Gabriel 222, and it's kind of impromptu also. So let's just see what this is. It's feeling like good energy. I have the Palo Santo stick. And then all the cards that I wanted to use are kind of intergalactic type cards. I have the Starseed Oracle, then I have some runes, and then I have my Moonology deck, and then the Wisdom Oracle. So I don't really know. Let's just see what's coming through. But what I was feeling is that maybe there's this pressure to you just feel like the pressure is on, or like you're feeling out of options. And kind of like you're learning as you go in something. And I think right now there's some beauty in not knowing, because I was listening to some songs earlier today, and I will sometimes listen to songs as a way to, you know, press shuffle, and then whatever comes on with shuffle is like kind of giving me energy, and it literally really works well. So the three songs that I had were like very kind of peaceful, anticipating, but like peacefully, like they were instrumental, and so it feels like there's this kind of light waiting period. And that maybe you've been so focused on the darkness, as I'm thinking, because with these cards, right? I mean, these are very like light cards, but then it's like this intergalactic energy. Okay. Lost lands, soul memories, and gifts. You've done this before. Okay. So this was definitely something I was inspired by earlier today, actually, about the power of our own spirituality, and that really ancestrally we know this. We know these experiences. We know we just know this. Like, we know the spiritual realm. Like, this is something that isn't new to, and right now I'm particularly thinking of Black people, but I feel like even more, like, not just Black people, but for me, I'm just thinking like ancestrally for me, that we have this in our spirit already, and it's natural. Ritual is what I was thinking about, because I watched a video this morning about ritual, right? So work with me. I watched this really short video about ritual, and like there's a man and how he tended to a funeral, like a graveyard, excuse me, in his hometown, and like the importance of ritual and taking care of the dead, but also the importance of ritual and what that means culturally. And so it's like people get a really bad rap continuously throughout life for being connected to the dead, and for being connected to spirit and connected to the unseen, right? and that we have this like, it's easy to see this limited idea of what spirit is, or what connecting to the dead is, and your ancestors, where do people go when they pass, and all of these things, right? But it's like, when you dig beneath the superficial aspect of these questions, it's like your soul already knows it. And that's what I'm talking about with lost land, soul memories, and gifts. Like, connecting to spirit isn't new for you. Like, your spirit knows how to do this, and it's not a foreign thing. So you don't have to really, if you feel some sort of fear maybe when it comes to connecting to, you know, God or your ancestors, or just finding that faith or that realm, right? Like, that realm is weird, and it can be very eye-opening when you're starting, but like, it's not new to you. It's not new, you know, like, it's not as new as it seems, and it's not scary. Like, it's like a part of who you are. So especially if you walk this path, and like, you do videos, or however you share your spirituality or use your gifts, and like, I don't know, I guess you can feel like a fish out of water, you know, but actually, like, you're the fastest swimming fish in the water, you know, like, you actually are. But not everybody can hang under the water, you get what I mean? So don't be afraid of the gifts that you have, and that, you know, you can, and also you can cultivate your life in ritual. Like, you literally can make your whole day ritual. All you need is the elements. It's really cool. Like, how you wake up. What do you do when you wake up? You know, what makes you feel good to do when you wake up? Burn, smudge. Like, there's just so many things, you know, and it's like, it's your own journey really to find out what's right for you. Okay, so then I have, so if you're feeling maybe, I just kind of heard tainted, tarnished roots. I'm looking at this card, the I'm sorry card, and how it's like down here, and these roots, they were just looking kind of like, it was giving me a tarnished feeling. So there might be, you may be feeling like, my, I don't know, like, my roots are tarnished in some kind of way. So it's hard for you to let that part of you in. Or I'm also even thinking on a bigger scale of just how that part of ourselves has been shunned. It, like, the way spirituality has been shunned, and then limited, and then put in these small boxes, right? And that is a part of our ancestral roots, you know, like, that is a part of our like, what our ancestors remember, right? Like, having all this knowledge, and then colonialism coming in and like completely wiping it out, like forcing us to remove it and to learn something new, and that everything that we knew before wasn't appropriate, right? So then that's something that your spirit remembers, you know, and then it's still in everything that we see and do. Like, it's still in the way we talk about things, in our books, in our culture, in pop culture. Like, it's all, you know, it's all weaved in. It's all weaved in the way that we take in the world. And then this jump in card right here, say yes to change. So I feel like it's like, don't be afraid to dive in. And then I don't know why I just heard Dive In by Trey Songz, but it's like, I don't know, like what is literally, like I was saying, like the water. I forgot I even said that. Like the water, like don't be afraid to grow your gills. Get in there. You know, get in there. Okay, so I think also there's something about feeling like, am I doing it right? You know, is it happening right? It must not be happening. I don't think I'm doing it, you know? And I think that it feels, what I could, it's like, I don't know if it's more about questioning. Like it's about questioning things more so. And that was, I mean, where did I see that? Right here, right? Lifting the veil, questioning everything. So it's like kind of getting deeper below the surface of just what things mean to you. And like it's okay to be spontaneous with this. And also think of it spontaneously of like, literally think of growing gills. Think of it as like growing your gills to be able to survive in a new kind of climate, and how that changes your surroundings, but then it also changes your body and your mind and how you look and how your body operates. And like that's kind of what a spiritual practice and like it can do. It just kind of transforms you in a way, or makes you see things in a different perspective. So that's like a part of the beauty of it, like and that it's spontaneous to you. And that things will happen spontaneously. Because look, I got wait, it's not time yet. The blue flame, spontaneous awakening. So it's like when it naturally, the changes naturally come. Like the growth naturally kind of happens on its own. So you don't have to be afraid of that either, if you're feeling that. Hold on. Mm. So it's like spiritual, it's all, there's something here about concepts always evolving, and that like there's really no perfection because it's always going to be able to change shape and evolve and grow and transform. Like it makes me think of kind of like it's just always like literally a circle, like a cycle. It just always is changing, and things can always um be different or be seen differently. And so that's also, I think, something with tarot and with spirituality. Like it's never really fully finite because people have free will. So at any moment you can change your mind and things can change. And then it's more about the quest and the journey of the exploration than a finite destination, if that makes sense. And that was something, okay, so this is like, this takes me to another thing. I was thinking of this last night of like how people deal with music and instruments, right? And like this is just something that I know because of my background and roots growing up and stuff. But like I would just find that people are so I grew up with a lot of Virgo energy around me, right? So me not having the strongest Virgo energy in my chart, and then being around a lot of very like methodical Virgos, I just never really got the way their wheels turn. Like it was too rough for my mind. Like I just couldn't, just Virgo Capricorn, like really. And so I would see that be applied in particular to instruments, and how this kind of obsession with perfection and being able to play so well, and like what that means for you, what that looks like, like Bach or just Beethoven, and like the genius of what you can physically do with an instrument. But then I was just thinking about how other people don't. Some people use instruments in more of a spiritual way of like connecting with it because of the joy of just connecting with it, despite whether you're really really good and advanced or not, and like, so literally the opposite polarity of that, which would be like Pisces energy, where it's about the flow of doing it. So maybe this is for someone who's kind of used to, oh look, and then right, where'd the card go? I have a card in here that's just like, let the Most High take the reins. It's that kind of energy of like, sometimes it's just about letting spirit move you to just do intuitively what you feel, compared to physically making something happen and putting it into line. And like for me, that was always so triggering because of just the way my mind works. Like my mind has a really, really hard time applying myself day in and day out in a Virgo way to make shit happen. But that's because like that's not the way my astrology chart is set up, right? So like, yes, it has its downfalls, and yeah, I have to work with Virgo energy in a particular way because we all need all the energies. But like my skill is definitely more in a Pisces area. And so, and then that's another thing, something about luck. I think people think that like luck is spirit. Like you think it's luck, but it's spirit. It's the Most High. Like it's the unseen. It's what you can't see. You know what I mean? So it's like the people who are so grounded and maybe just and not a believer in the unseen, they don't see it as anything. It's just a miraculous thing. But it's like, that's magic. That's the Most High. That's spirit. It comes like that. And that's the beauty of it. Like, that's the magic of it. That it's not, that it comes at the least, sometimes the least expected moments. You get a download, or you get, or something happens just out of the blue. You think it's not gonna happen, it's not gonna work, and then somehow the pieces fit together. That's spirit. That's magic. That's the elements working together in an unseen way that creates, magic. And then when it's like they say the devil is in the details, right? Okay, so sometimes being so focused on the details and what it looks like and who you're performing for, or what it's gonna look like to others, and these tiny little, that's Virgo, right? Details are important, but also, like, there's always another side to it, and that's the beauty and the magic of spirit and connecting to spirit and ritual. Like, that's it. And it is more, think of it as like, I don't know, if you were, when you were a kid, did you ever like just mix ingredients together and just stir them up and see what you get? I used to always put like baking soda, sugar, and it's funny, I remember I even did this for a school science fair, where I just was like, this is what happens when you mix baking soda and water, and this is what happens when you mix like this cleaning supply with this cleaning supply with this cleaning supply, right? And like, to me, it was just fun and playful. And I remember my dad, a Virgo of course, was like, but that's not science. Like, that's not even science. Like, you need to do something scientific. What's scientific about it, right? And like, it was kind of true. Like, it really didn't have a point. But in my mind, it had a scientific aspect to it. But like, even then, I was using spirit. You see what I mean? So like, so sometimes spirit doesn't really apply to the rules and the boundaries. It's beyond that. It's beyond that. Just let the Most High take the reins, It's about like, and then that's also that feminine energy, right? Like, that's the idea of feminine energy, of like receptive. Just letting it come to you and doing whatever it is that you feel. Like, that's you know what I mean? That's it. Okay, and then I got another download. Maybe this is for someone that, like, if you, how do I want to even put this? So the download I got was this. It's like, somebody said that they would not ever want to date a witch, right? Like, I would not date a witch. Like, I'm not dating no witch, right? That was like the download that I got. But then I'm like, in the switch, but then it's like, this is the kind of person who then will have to deal with, like, their house is haunted. They then moved to the town and buy the Victorian house that was like for sale in a good price, but then the house is haunted. And then it's like, you're afraid to go around the corner, and then it's dark, and you're hearing weird things at night, and you thought you felt something brush you, but you didn't know what it was. And like, it's like, that's it. Like, it's like, because you had to be rejecting a part of, really honestly, a part of life. Like, I love how, but it's just interesting to me how people are so comfortable just pushing that aside and thinking it's just madness and BS and silly. But it's like, you're not seeing the full circle of life. You're not seeing the full circle, like, and so then it's like, okay, so now you're in this haunted house. Now you have to probably call who? somewhat of a witch, right? Someone in that kind of area, because what can they do for you? Give you a reading to tell you why the ghost is there, give you a reading to let you know what that ghost wants, giving you a reason to let you know if the ghost died in the house and why they died, and maybe, you know what I mean? That's what this energy is. That's the Scorpio energy and the Pisces energy, or kind of even just like the water element in general. And so it's like, even though, you know, I know that when it's new to you, or it's just not, when you have a limited view of you that you've been taught, right? There is another card that had come out about lifting the veil, right? Like, what is behind the veil? When you're not used to doing that, it seems crazy. Like, it totally does. Like, I'm not gonna like say when you're not there, it makes no sense at all. But that's you not deciding to like not walk through the portal. Like, you want to just leave the veil there, you know? And it's like, but you can still walk through it if you choose to. And it's like, okay, so good fortune. Good fortune. Yes. Yes. And so that's another thing. Respect the spiritual realm, and those of us who have the confidence to live in it and to take those things and bring them here to the 3D and give them to you, right? Because it's also not easy. And like, if everything has a polarity, even though, like, I feel like it's always like, oh, the spiritual, the crazy, loopy spiritual, lazy spirituals, right? And it's like, so with everything, there's a polarity. So there's still lots of work that has to be done within this realm. So it's like, just because it doesn't look like that to you, my folks know what it's like when you're hearing, like, you're getting downloads all day, in the middle of the night, 3 times you're getting downloads, like, just all day you're picking stuff up. You know, the spirits are communicating with you. Your brain is like, you know, the spell work. Like, I don't know, I've wondered this about spell work. Like, I guess for everyone it's just natural that warfare is a part of it, like a real fight of the mind. And it feels, I've been playing Uno a lot, and I'm like, it feels like Uno, a big game of Uno. Like, it's always a weird competition or something in your own mind. That's like warfare, spiritual warfare. And like, people are skipping you. You're trying to play a card, you get skipped, then it's reversed, then you have to draw 4, right? And it's like a cycle. Like, that's sometimes what it can feel like doing this work, even though it's also really cool at the same time, you know? So I'm just like, don't be afraid to think about it like that, and to also like repay the people that you're getting your readings from. Like, whoever if you're just watching and getting information from these people, and like, don't go on there and be a non-believer but then still watch like half of the shit, or like 45%, you know, 75% of the shit. Take information, keep it in the back of your mind while your ego is telling you, nah, that's bullshit, and then you keep coming back to talk shit and to play and la 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 la, but you're not giving anything back. And so now you have debt in the spiritual realm, because it's like some folks are just straight up disrespectful when it comes to this stuff. And it's like you need to understand that the realms are real. There are more than one realm, and spirit hears you talking shit about the readers. Okay, the readers hear you talking shit about them. Like, don't think we don't get a spiritual ring-a-ling when disrespect is calling. Like, we know. And it's like, you need to get in the donation box. And I was saying that this morning, like I was literally channeling that this morning. You need to hop in the donation box. When you're getting these readings from folk, just because it's a free platform, people are putting a lot of time into this, hours into this. It's still exhausting. I mean, it's just like if you're thinking about someone that is like a runner, right? And they run track and they're always like having to practice and go. It's like that, but for someone's mind. Like, it's just like, just because the body isn't always in cycle and in motion, the mind is. And it's exhausting. It's exhausting. It really is work, even though, you know, we look happy when we're doing it sometimes or whatever. I don't know. But it's just kind of like respect that it's. Okay, so this is, I guess this is going to be part 2, or hopefully I can edit them together, but my thing cut off because my iPad storage. And it's shit like that. It's shit like that, okay? Like, that happens very often for, you know, just like magical chaos. Just like magical chaos, like just the stupidest shit will happen. Just like magically ridiculous, you know? Like, I feel like that's also part of it. Inconvenience, magically inconvenient. But it's like you can't micromanage it, you know? So what was I saying? Yeah, just don't be afraid, like, show love to where you get the information from, or just don't watch. There's no need to be watching if you really like are so in such disbelief with the content. Why then? Okay. Anything else, Fear? Ooh, yeah. Okay. Serve the world by being you. Joy. Make love to life. Deep love. So okay, yeah. So what I was saying, I'm like, I lost it. Yes, but that it's like there are some folks that, you know, if you've been taking spiritual tea from them, tips from them, ideas from them, and then kind of using it without respecting that you're using it and you're learning it, you're in debt. You're in spiritual debt. And it's like, you gotta repay that. You gotta repay that. You know, you gotta repay. It's still a transaction. It's transactional. And I feel like in some cases, you're gonna feel it. Like, you're gonna feel it being sucked out of you from taking all this information and then like shitting on it at the same time. That's for some folks. Like, I feel like there's definitely dark karmic energies that will watch these readings because it's funny to them, or because they have some sort of negativity towards the reader, right? But they don't quite fully understand the readings. So they come with like this judgmental feeling already of like, this is bullshit, but I don't like this girl. And usually then it's like, I don't like them because I used to know them and now they're doing this, and they didn't do this kind of work before. They never talked about this before. Now they are. And so I think that they change who they are and that they're capping now, right? So then they come in with that kind of energy. Instead of being open to the fact that people can change, and absolutely do change, and that usually spirituality is the best and easiest way to change, in my experience. That like, that is where the change really happens, more so than the mundane day-to-day things that we have to do and that we keep doing for the rest of our lives. Like, it is your emotional realm that is changeable. That's the fluidity, right? That's where the fluidity exists. So that's where you're going to get your change from. That's it. And like, you know, fire, taking action also. But like, the change, the motion is in the water element. So you gotta show love, donate, show love, do something. You know what I mean? Like, it needs to be repaid. Mm-hmm. And then it's like, there can be so much limited energy that it's like, even seeing someone who's a little bit unique or a little bit different, then it's like immediately rejecting what's different about them, instead of seeing that as a whole picture of who they are, right? So look, seeing the potential, bringing unconscious to light, which is literally what this work is. Thinking up new ideas of the future, of what things could look like in the future, right? What's manifesting that hasn't fully manifested yet. That's the power of this. Look, literally, look, the blue water. Like, that's the power. Creating something in motion. And like, what it really is, and this is so cool too, this card, the baby steps card, it's about taking baby steps while letting the Most High weave in the magic in between those baby steps, right? Like, it's like, what are you working towards today? And then that's also the beauty of ritual too. Like, I light the sage and my Palo Santo with an intention of what I'm moving towards. That's my first baby step of the day. Then there's magic rolled in between that. When you're connecting, you know what I mean? Then the next step, what are you working? You want to work out today, or you want to do yoga today. That's that next baby step. But there is magic there. You know, like, it's like, we're not just alone, just us, and it's only you, and like, it's all about only what you can do. Because it's like, come on, you've never had like a supernatural experience before? You've never had an experience where it's like, you literally were sure that shit was shit, and then somehow it worked out? It was confusing to you, you know? Like, that spirit. Hold on, I need to get a sip. Hold on. But yeah, that spirit. Mm. Okay, now I'm gonna go to this different deck. And I guess something I also just picked up right now is like, if you're feeling like there's this longing for home feeling, which is talked about a lot in that Starseed Oracle deck, of this feeling of wanting more, right? Like wanting something different. There has to be something more than this in my life. Like there's got to be something better, more purpose, more, right? And I feel like that's actually a call for you to just understand yourself in a deeper way, because I feel like I heard one time just like even monks feel lost, you know, like even monks feel lost, even though they do all the spiritual work and they're constantly in meditation and devotion, but like they still feel lost. So I feel like using that to call you towards something is kind of what it's for, but I don't know if the feeling ever goes away. Look, and right, when I said you're very close to achieving your goal in reverse, you know, like it's like that calling, but that's even, you know what that makes me think of? I've been on this pirate and king thing for a long for a long time now. The pirate and the king, like for for a nice 2-3 months now. I've been thinking about that a lot because I just really like the analogy, but it makes me think of like being on a ship and like a voyage, on a voyage to something new, and you're, imagine like the wind. I know it's dramatic, but rock with me. The wind is like blowing your hair back, and you're on this ship and you know that you're headed towards other land, right? And there's a feeling there of longing because you're moving towards something, right? And like that's that longing for home feeling, that it's like there's something more there for you to explore. But it's like the water, it's not the destination, it's the journey. It's, you know, it's not the destination. It's like what you learn in time and space on the way there. Your hard work is paying off. Balance spirituality and practicality. Like literally, like that's so many different things I just got right there. Like this is literally the polarities right here. The two fish flowing, going in different directions, always changing, mutable, and then Capricorn. Doing what Capricorn does, working really hard. Practicality, spirituality, you know, like they are kind of the opposite, but they need each other. See, and that not everything has to happen from hard, grueling work, you know? Because then that becomes micromanaging. Virgos know that you can, that Virgo energy is naturally the detail micromanager of just like, here's every detail that I've noticed, and this is every way you can change each of these details, right? And it's like, but that's can be grueling too. That's where the space comes in. Grueling. Negativity. You can get negative because it's just like, it's always something that to be fixed. We could be fixing shit our whole life through. It like, there's always could be, you know, one more crumb on the floor that you miss when you clean. Always one, you know, one more thing that hasn't been done yet. One more thing you forgot to do. That one thing that didn't happen, you know, like for the rest of our lives. And that's like, so it's easy to just get caught up in that. Caught up in the dirt of that. Think about that too. If Virgo is kind of like the grounding, like the methodical part of nature, or like the growing, like, it makes me think of just like growing plants, but the plants aren't all the way bearing anything yet. Like, that's the opposite of like the water. You know what I mean? I hope that's making sense. But that's what I'm feeling. Yeah, because I think there's also a fear, a common fear of nothing's gonna happen unless you get up and do it yourself. You know, like if you don't push, nothing will happen and you're gonna be shit out of luck, and like that's on you. But actually, it's not even like that. It's not even like that. And it's crazy a little bit, huh? Because I know it's like, if you're comfortable believing these things and grew up that way, this is for my folks who have like Capricorn in their 4th house, Virgo in their 4th house, you know, or in their 1st house, like just energies that those are your roots. Literally, look where you have what you have in your 4th house. If you have Capricorn, Virgo in the 4th house, then you know that energy, like you just know it. You know it. And so then that's what you're used to. That's what you're used to. And then I suppose on the other side of that, because look, balance, spirituality, and practicality, the answers you need are coming in reverse. So do you see how on the other side of it, there's only so much you're going to be able to grasp when you do this kind of work, right? Like I guess it's like there's a ceiling of information that you can retain with this too, because it's easy to also then fall into delusion when you're dealing with Pisces energy, because now it's just like, because there's so many variables and blah, 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 and things are always changing, it's not the most reliable all the time. So it's for your imagination, right? And for stretching your imagination and pulling ideas in. I don't know what I keep doing that. But like, it's like taking little tidbits, right? But then, so I think you get what I'm saying. They go together. You need both. But you know, it's like you're not always gonna find your answer in a tarot reading either. Sometimes it resonates just so perfectly, but then I don't know if you ever notice, right? You watch one that resonates so freaking good, and then the next one, you watch another one and you lose that feeling, because it's for a moment in time. It's for a moment in time to help you manifest and move towards it. And it's confirmation that you're pulling, like you're understanding what you're pulling in or the energy you're receiving. But it is changeable. Whew. Okay. Something about quickly. I've been picking up this energy of quickly, quickly, quickly. And I'm drinking quickly tea. But like I've been put quickly, quickly, quickly. And like trying to make stuff happen fast, fast, fast. But then at the same time, hold on, let me get another deck. Because it's like sometimes things do happen quickly. That's why we have the Eight of Wands card. Like there is a time when shit pops off and happens quickly. Like just blessings just manifesting. That happens. But let me see what it is about quickly. I've been hearing that song too, Rush. So I don't know. Maybe there's a rushing energy. Like we're just ready for something, right? Ready for something. Like it's time for something. And so there's this feeling of rushing to get to it. The song is Rush by Ira Star. I'm not gonna sing it because I like really butcher it. I don't know. But just like lyrically I butcher it, so I won't. But so, okay. Blessed in reverse and Unfinished Symphony in reverse. So I was feeling also this good energy before I started the camera. Like I was kind of running around my room like, ooh, 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 ooh. And so I feel like so a few things I'm getting with this. One is a good way to manifest is to always be in the state of belief that you're closer than you think and it's coming now. Like it is coming now. And like being in that mindset of like it's like really believing it and feeling it. And that's a part of the water element, feeling it. Like feeling it in your body, anticipating it, knowing that it's coming to you sooner than you think it is, and like it's on its way quickly for real. Believing that is a part of manifesting it. Deep knowing. And so these came out in reverse, right? So it's like you gotta have that deep knowing in your soul. And that also rest is allowed even with that deep knowing. Does that make sense? Like it's like even when you're resting, even when you take a whole day and just lay there, still believing that it's coming. Even when you take 5 days or you didn't have a very productive 5 days, still believing that it's on its way. And then we have go the distance, blessed. I saw this here. But that's what I saw this. So I'm feeling like, okay. I guess it's like if you also, right, being in this energy, it's just like it's always going to be someone that wants to toss a diss or just be rude or whatever. I don't know, right? And like, it's because of the bless, you know? It's because you're blessed that then you have to deal with that. Like, that's literally why, you know? Observer. Like, there's always going to be someone watching. Watch the show One Punch Man. It's an anime show. It's literally a perfect explanation of what I'm talking about. One Punch Man. Because he's this man who doesn't really look like he would be that strong, isn't necessarily like the coolest guy, right? Like kind of nerdy per se. But has the strongest fucking punch ever and will knock you out. Like, he beats every opponent he has with one punch. And so there's like, as the show goes on, he's competing with others to see who's the strongest, like in the town or whatever. And then I guess it stretches out like further, whatever. And so, you know, everyone kind of is down on this guy because they just think that he's weird, or they think it's impossible. Kind of like, how is he doing all this? And he goes unnoticed for a long, long, long time, even though you as the viewer know, like, it's never fails. He punches every person with one punch and wins the battle. But everybody in the town doesn't really know about him. Anytime he goes somewhere, they're asking who he is, like, who is this? But they know the other heroes, right? They know the like bionic man with the nice six-pack and abs and, you know, the hot hair and looks like a damn, what are the, like, I'm thinking of kind of like a boy band, but like an Asian boy band, like just very beautiful and like whatever, right? But then everybody knows who that is, but still they're not as strong as One Punch Man. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's kind of our culture. And I remember there's one scene where like no one could beat this big sumo, big Hulk ass monster. And then One Punch Man comes and defeats him with one punch, and everyone was watching. And so they're all trying to debate, like, what just happened? Like, did he get him? How did he get him? And then one person's like, everybody who already fought him, you know, loosened him. So all he had to do was just have a miniature punch, and then the man couldn't take anymore. And everyone's like, no, he's gotta be like the best hero we've ever had. It only took one punch. And then there's this one person who comes in who's like literally the biggest hater. I mean, what did he really do? He didn't even really do anything, guys. Like, look, what did he really even do? And it's like, there's always that person has no faith. And it's just a hater. You know, and what did he even really do? Like, you know, trying to get everybody to basically think he's full of shit. What did he even really do, guys? I mean, look. And it's just like, there's always going to be that energy. That slimy ass, hater ass, like, energy that's hella mad, you know, for no reason. I wish I could like insert that clip because it really made me laugh when I saw it, because it's like everybody knows that one person where it's just like, you just have no faith. You have no faith. You're lacking complete faith in everything. Like nothing can impress you because you're lacking faith. Literally. Nothing can move you because you're lacking faith. You're lacking the water element. So literally you have no mutability. You won't let the water move you, so you can't be moved. That's faithlessness. And this is, look, this is kind of me. Like, this is some, not your, but this is for some, you know, whoever. That person in One Punch Man. This is what you're giving, the space you're giving yourself. And anything that you see be on your platform is like magical BS. It's like, no. Like that, this is spirit. Literally everything around this, all this open space, this is spirit. The air element, the water, air, I mean, it's in everything. But it's windy outside. I was just like, what was that? But it's everywhere, you know? And it's like, just, you want to stay on grounded, but like so grounded that you won't take the leap to go beyond, you know? Or to ask a question, you know, to understand something differently than maybe how you knew it before, to inquire, you know, like to find a deeper knowing. Ooh, hold on, I gotta get another sip. You might want to work with Ra. I mean, Ra is God. Like, Ra is like the Most High, or like whoever, I don't know, whoever you connect to. But I just keep seeing, when I was looking at the Wisdom Oracle, I keep looking and I keep seeing Ra. And so that's, you know, sun energy. Shining the light, lifting the veil, Archangel Gabriel, 222 energy, right? Kind of like the true shining the light on the reality of the situation. So maybe sometimes when you have to lift that veil, working with Ra can be a good way to do that. Getting an altar, a sun altar, so you can really see the truth of everything together, you know? Like, so you can really see like everything. Like sometimes when we look so into details, the reality, like zooming out, we can't zoom out, so we don't see the full picture. And like the truth is in the full picture, not just in the like the shitty part of the details, you know? Because the details is kind of where the shit lives. Like that's where the annoyance is. That's where you get irritated, is the details. I'm seeing come home to your soul, activate your cosmic energy. come home to your soul, activate your cosmic energy. You ever even feel, I don't know, I just said this to myself earlier today, like something about aliens coming down. Like, I'm like, at this point, for me to really rock with someone, they would have to be a supernova coming down from the sky to help me through. Like an alien coming down from the sky. You know, sometimes you feel like you need that kind of divine intervention. Like, I would literally need an alien to come down here, take me and take my stuff, and then teleport me to a whole new place. Like, that's literally the best. Like, that's the only way. And I don't know, maybe, look, storms don't last long over here. So maybe someone is in that deep of a storm where it's like someone is literally gonna have to fly down from Jupiter, pick me up by my lapel, and drag me there, because that's the only way, like, this shit is going to work out. And I'm wondering, almost as if, and look, I just saw this right at 5:44. So whatever it is that you, this is what I'm getting with this, because I'm seeing June here. Sorry, June, laughter, joy, excitement, and then what is this? Sowilo in reverse, though. So it almost felt like, to me, the thing that you are, like, you're going to be laughing about something either that you didn't know or something that didn't work out the way you wanted it to work out, is actually going to make, like, you'll be happy that there was no victory, or laughing that there was no victory in that situation. And isn't that spirit? Being so sure that you need something, want something, so worried about just that one detail and what that detail is going to mean and how it's going to change everything in your life, only for it literally to not work out and be better that it didn't work out at all. That's spirit. That's divine intervention. And so I'm feeling like also there will be progress. Why I'm saying that, so what I'm doing right now, all my cards got all mixed up where they're on different sides. So I'm trying to put them all back in the same way so I can shuffle them, right? And so I feel like maybe that's something, like you're getting everything on the same page or in the same order, like trying to find order. And reimagining what work and applying pressure looks like in your life. Something about dust off your elbows. Maybe it's like you feel like you've just been crawling in the trenches, kind of, and it's like you've just been pushing yourself really, really hard in one area, and it's kind of like you need to like get that. You know what that song made me? That just made me think of that song by Chanel Trez. I forget what it's called, but he's like, get off of your knees. There's trash on your lip. Like, and that's not me trying to throw shade, but that's literally, go look up that song. What is it called? It's maybe called Fuego. I think it's called Fuego, but that's just what it made me think of. Like, it's like, I don't know, just pushing yourself harder than you need to. Okay. So I'm about to be out of battery soon, so that's a good way for me to look. What do you do when you're running low on battery? What do you do? Chill. Like, you have to. You have to. Yeah. You know, like, you literally only have so much. There's only so much, you know, there's only so much a human can do. You know, like, I feel like we just push ourselves further than anybody should expect of us. There's something about taking a solid hiatus to fine tune your goals or what it is that you're wanting out of something. Yeah, okay, so then here's a little switch. Then I think I'm gonna leave it after this, but I guess karma is coming back for someone who is, for people who use magic to confuse folk all day long, all the time. Like, that's all I can say. It's coming back to you. If you're doing stuff like that, it's coming back to you. That's like the overuse. That's the overuse. When you're over, right? And it's so, even with Pisces energy, Pisces energy can easily manipulate because it's water, so it moves you however, all these different ways, right? So easily manipulation comes with that. And somebody was having a good, see, look, now we're gonna get to the drama. Someone was having a good ass time last year on some BS. And like, now there's growth that has to come from that this year and next year. I heard rootin' tootin'. I'm done. I literally heard root and toot in good time. Like, it's like, okay. I don't know, but like in the wrong way. And maybe magic is involved with that. Like, really getting hype with the magic. Root and tootin'. And that maybe for someone, they were having such a good time, they don't want the fun to stop, but they're feeling like they're losing momentum in their fun. And that like there's lessons. I don't know, it's just like bear energy, like bears hibernate, you know, like even though they have a good summer, then there's still always that hibernation period. Okay. Okay. So here's how I will end it. For somebody, remember that it is your birthright to practice spirituality, to practice magic, right? Within reasonable, like, I'm not saying just be tossing magic at people all the time to manipulate and stuff like that, but that there's nothing wrong with doing this kind of work, being interested in these kind of things, learning these kind of things, right? So be proud of who you are, and that even in society, it's changing, you know? Like, I feel like some of us maybe even have a fear of like, we look crazy, like witch burning, you know, like on the stake, Puritan energy, right? Like, I don't deserve to practice this, I'll be judged to practice this, or I can't be this weird version of me. But that time is done, because I've seen that transitions. Like, it's your birthright, it's fair play. And I'm thinking and really feeling like, have faith in that. If you have people directly around you that make you feel negative for doing that, then maybe just try to remove yourself from that energy. But don't think that the whole world's gonna reject and neglect you because you like these kind of things. Because it really is a whole new time. It's like the internet has all this information. It's millions of readers, not all of them legit, but still the information is being spread. There's still the information. And I guess what I mean, not all legit, is like not all with the best intention towards everyone, is more so what I mean. Like, everyone has different motives and stuff too, but that doesn't mean that, like, I don't know, it's just not that, it's not, we're not living in the Puritan times anymore. So trust yourself and your skills, and believe that you have a right to be that and to walk in that everywhere you go. Like, you don't have to like hide under the covers about it, which is literally like, I don't know, a word for me as well, because it can be kind of scary if you feel like no one connects with it, blah blah blah. But we're moving past that, we're moving past and beyond. Be who you are, like the information that you like, learn the info you want to learn, and be you. All right, that's it. That's all I have. I hope this message helped you, gave you some insight or something. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.